Good evening, my fellow Greeks. For many of us this has been a sad day with the burial of the wise Socrates, the victim of vicious accusations and a completely unfair trial. As you all know, on my show with any controversial issue I have attempted to allow both sides a fair hearing. Last night we talked with Mr. Plato, a young supporter of Mr. Socrates. Now I want to allow Father Euthyphro, a respected member of the Athenian clergy and one of those agreeing with the jury's verdict, to express his opinion. Good evening, Father.
Thank you for having me on your show, although so far I do not think it has been a model of fairness.
And why is that?
From the beginning of his trial until now you have presented Socrates as a victim of our system of justice despite ample evidence to the contrary. He was a man who insisted on defending himself with peculiar reasoning and absurd comparisons, such as the way he referred to himself as a gadfly biting a horse to keep it alert. The jury saw through his rhetoric and judged him fairly.
I understand, Father, but is it not true that you had a personal grudge against Socrates? It has been widely reported that he challenged your authority to speak on religious matters.
It is true we had a public disagreement when I heroically pursued justice by asking the court to indict my own father for murder following the death of one of the men working on his farm. It turned into a perverted discussion of what it means to act righteously in keeping with the law of the gods. That alone should tell you how he felt about the role of religion in our civic life.
But he did not claim to be guided by a supernatural voice in his own actions?
That is not at all the same thing as being guided by the command of the gods as explained by those of us in the priesthood. Ours is a city that has achieved greatness through the protection of mighty Athena, daughter of Zeus. I am proud to be her servant and the interpreter of our religious values. By mocking me, Socrates also, as he did so often, mocked the basis of our culture.
Father Euthyphro, I respect your sincerity, but I do feel I must ask you to explain more clearly how you can be so sure that you or any of your fellow priests understands what a god wants of us.
Oh, so you are going to use that trick question of whether something is right just because the gods command it or whether the gods command it just because it is right in itself.
Do you not think that is a fair question?
I certainly do not. Socrates proved himself no different from the foreign teachers our citizens have hired to teach their sons to play games with words just to win a battle in court. We proved ourselves a great city when, through the grace of our gods, we defeated the Persian navy. We lost that greatness when so-called wise men corrupted our youth, and we lost a lengthy war to the Spartans. We all know how it was one of Socrates' own students who traitorously supported the Spartans.
And you believe that you are on a mission to restore Athens to greatness by defending traditional values?
Absolutely. The trial of Socrates was a necessary step in that direction. We can no longer accept those who make fun of our traditional ways and even take money to teach our own sons to do the same. Your guest last night, Mr. Plato, indicated that he was afraid of a witch hunt and might well travel away from Athens. My own advice to him is to do so on a permanent basis. I say the same to any of the other so-called philosophers who want to see Socrates as some sort of tragic hero.
Father Euthyphro, while I am glad that you accepted our invitation to appear on this show, I also concern that if you were to have your way, programs like this one would be banned in the name of religion.
I understand that you feel some need to bait me, sir, but I stand my ground. We must restore our values, and a true respect for religion must be taught to our young people. If you think this is undue censorship, then I advise you to find some other city in which to earn your living as a journalist. I am glad to be rid of Socrates, and I would be glad to be rid of you as well.
And on that unfortunate note we will end this program. Thank you for coming, for at least now viewers have a better idea of what this democracy of ours is up against.